dollars that have accrued from Dragon Boat have directly fueled a variety of platforms here at the GHS Cancer Institute. In the earliest phase, they concentrated heavily on sparking and then fueling some very innovative research within ITOR. And one of the best examples is that of Kiatech, where a seed grant from Dragon Boat dollars actually began an ovarian cancer project and has allowed them to be the recipients of highly competitive cancer research dollars, for example, from the National Cancer Institute.
Kiatech is a company that specializes in three-dimensional cell culture. But if you boil down our mission, the goal is really just to improve oncology patient lives. And we do that by doing something we call drug response profiling. So testing a patient's tumor with the potential therapies that they might receive in our laboratory.
So I was diagnosed with cancer in 2010 while I was a junior at Clemson University, and had surgery over spring break, and then did chemotherapy in the summer after I finished the spring semester. And then went ahead and graduated. Now I work for a cancer research company. Lilia actually brought up Dragon Boat to me, and I actually hadn't heard a lot about it, but when I did hear exactly what it was all about, it really related to me, and I wanted to get our team involved.
We have been able to create programs that we think are innovative, highly supportive, and really have resulted in enriching the path of survivorship in ways that would be entirely impossible without those dollars to begin with.
I was diagnosed with early stage thyroid cancer when I was a junior in college. And at that time, I remember asking my surgeon what I could do to prevent the return of cancer. And he replied, "Nothing, don't worry about it, that's my job." I was worried. I went back to school completely alone. No one could share in my experience. And I was terrified. Then in February of 2014, I was diagnosed with early stage breast cancer. When I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I told my husband I'm going to be the best patient I can possibly be. But my experience the first time around was to do what I was told during treatment, and then it was over with. This time, however, I participated in a wonderful program Moving On in the Life Center. Built an exercise plan for myself. So suddenly I had the resources that I'd wanted so desperately 40 years before.
So Dragon Boat dollars have impacted us in an additional way, which was the purchase of 2 flow cytometers for ITOR. This is the Cytoflex and the MoFlow. And the cells, when they are present in the body, fly a number of flags that tell the body what they are. And what we can do with these instruments is actually tag those little flags with something that's fluorescent, run them through the instrument, and then pull out that needle in a haystack. So Kiatech is also interested in those tumor cells that cause tumors to metastasize and spread and grow, as well as the tumors that are resistant to therapy. So patients, when they relapse, are even more difficult to treat. And so how do we get better answers for patients? And MoFlow allows us to pull out that needle in a haystack and evaluate how they grow and how they might respond to therapies.
Our bone marrow transplant unit is a premier example of the power of philanthropy. The almost $2.5 million needed to build this transplant unit have come entirely from philanthropy. We are on the eve of opening this new transplant unit, which in turn allows us to do things with our bone marrow transplant program that were heretofore very difficult to do. The first transplants, the first so-called bone marrow transplant or blood stem cell transplant, we did here at GHS in 1992, and those typically were what we call auto transplants, where the stem cell originates from the patient themselves. Dr. Fanning's team is now more routinely performing the more difficult and demanding transplant of using allogeneic donors, meaning they could be from a sibling, but increasingly completely unrelated individuals who may be a match can be identified and patients transplanted here.
I do wonder if cancer is in my future again, but I know I'm in the right place if it is. I know I'm in a place where I will have the best in medical care, in research, in innovative practice in partnerships.
Cancer Center here does a great job. I mean, this is my home now. I've lived here for 6 years, and I'm just excited to be able to work with a philanthropy group that helps people in this upstate. Everyone look around, think about how everyone's been affected. Everyone in the room at this pep rally has someone who has been affected by cancer, and just think of how great of a cause it is for helping people and their families in the area.
Hopefully, the person who hears this will never be a cancer patient themselves, but someone they know will be. Their neighbor, their family member, someone they love will benefit from these resources. It's important work, very important work, and it's work we can all contribute to.
$70,000 event has now exploded to a world record event in our 10th year. As we enter the second decade, we have incredible spirit within this community, and our need to drive even more integrative and innovative projects is ever increasing.
There are exciting things happening at GHS, and if you can take something away from this, it would be pride and a love for oncology patients that we all share and wanting to do something better for them. It takes a village. It's not about one person one day. It takes all of us coming together. So I would challenge everyone to get out there, get involved, come to the event, contribute dollars, support the teams that are on the water, and make a difference.